Mobile games.
Sweet.
Despite what most people think, it's actually the most popular platform and is still growing. Right now there's more than 700,000 games on iOS and Android, which is definitely more than 5. Well, unless you're still rocking the Nokia 3310, in which case, respect. Some of my favorites are the Monument Valley series, Isle of Arrows, and good old Minesweeper. But there's also mobile ports of already popular games such as GTA San Andreas, Stardew Valley, Terraria, almost every FNAF game, and of course, Minecraft. But right now, I don't really care about those 8. I want to look at the other 699,992 that haven't gotten a chance to shine yet. So I asked you guys to give me some of the more obscure ones that no one's ever heard of, and I looked for some myself, which for some reason is f***ing impossible to do. I don't get how the App Store works. So I'll be looking at 10 of them and ranking them. Cause why not? Pause. Because before that, this video is sponsored by World of Warships. This game has plenty of ships to choose from across a variety of classes like battleships, destroyers, cruisers, and aircraft carriers, which, if you didn't know, carry aircrafts. Crazy, right? With these ships, you can take part in action-packed strategic battles that are more sophisticated than chess. But you don't have to play it alone, you can make a division with your friends. You can come across more than 40 different maps that all look amazing with dynamic weather and pristine water. There's always something new to try out because there's new things being released almost every month, like new ships, classes, countries, and cosmetics, so you'll never get bored. Of course you can play this on PC, but you can also play it on console. Click the link in the description to play the game, and if you're a new player, you can use the code BRAVO to get like loads of shit, which is nice. So go ahead and check out World of Warships. Anyway, as I was saying, starting with Skibidi Toilet Hero. So, obviously this game is gonna suck because, duh. Even Google agrees because if you try to search the game up, Google just straight up refuses to show it. But you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance. And just by looking at this menu, it's very clear that this game was put together with Unity in like less than an hour. After you sit through an ad, of course. There's a shop where you can buy upgrades and gear, which you'll probably need because when you press start, you get dropped on this flat plane and then get immediately gangbanged by toilets because they're faster than you. Super balanced game. This is probably the most generic survival game you can possibly imagine, except this one is infused with hell and sprinkled with cringe. If you eventually get tired of being ratioed by toilets, you can buy some of the upgrades with the very generously allotted $50,000. Which is enough to basically buy yourself into being God because now you can moonwalk at 200 miles an hour. And yeah, that's basically it. That's the whole game. If you moonwalk far enough, you'll go out of bounds. And it turns out that dying doesn't actually reset your position, because if you die out of bounds, pressing start will just put you back to where you were, which is out of bounds. F tier. It shortened my lifespan by 30 years. So instead of playing Minecraft, which is an actual good game, I'll instead play Craft World, which, after sitting through an ad, is trying really hard to copy their homework. Almost too hard because this main menu is eerily similar. Surely it's just the menu though, I'm sure the actual game is terrible. Oh. This is literally just Minecraft. So that joke I made about them copying Mojang's homework? Yeah, they just straight up copy-pasted and didn't change anything. Also known as piracy. Or maybe this is just the best one-to-one recreation of the game ever made. And if so, the devs think you'll like it so much that they don't even let you leave. The spot where the pause button should be is now covered with a permanent ad. But hopefully it won't be too annoying, right? So anyway, I started with the basics. Chopping down some wood, crafting sticks, looking at horses with missing textures, you know, the usual stuff. Minus points for the inventory being the finickiest thing in the universe. Seriously, f*** this inventory. But then I wanted to craft some tools, which is where the problems start to begin. That's if you didn't count everything I already said as a problem. So there's a permanent ad on the top, right? What's worse is that the ad has a bigger hitbox than it looks, so if you click anywhere within a 30-mile radius from the box, you'll get a pop-up. That's just great, isn't it? This game is amazing. That essentially means you cannot craft anything because the top row of the crafting table is within the blast radius of the ad, so no crafting for you. The only way you can craft is by clicking the ad, and when you exit, be fast enough to click something at the top before the ad loads in again. So to protect yours and my own sanity, all I managed to do was build the coolest house known to man, sit in there for 8 minutes waiting for the night to pass, while in the meantime looking at places to eat in Orlando. Then for the finale, killing myself. In real life. So this should go an F, but it's Minecraft, so I'll give it a D. I will be looking at a variety of games, but I have one more Minecraft clone, so I'll do that one first. But have you ever thought that the blocks in Minecraft are kinda big? Well, now we have mini BlockCraft. And here I have a quiz for you. What do you think this game starts off with when you open it? The correct answer is E, an ad. Because of course it starts with an ad, what the fuck do you think it'd be? This game comes preloaded with a few already made worlds like Small House, Big City, Batman's Cave. The Small House world is quite literally a small house, plus it comes with a reminder that you're no longer wet, so cool. Like the last game, there's also a permanent ad here, though it's not as intrusive. However, it makes up for that by forcing an ad every time you close a chest or your inventory. I'm not kidding. The big city map looks very unbig with a big plane, and the New York City map is literally a flat world with 2 buildings. And I mean, looks like they nailed it, honestly, can't even tell them apart. Anyways, you can make your own world with the usual, and since they didn't want to plagiarize, you can customize your character with names like Walter. As you spawn, you get put into a familiar looking environment. Not even kidding, they made the world generation pretty good here. The blocks, by the way, are not mini at all, even though the game claims they are. So, I believe this falls under false advertising. Anyway, the game itself is pretty normal, it's your average Minecraft clone. Though it does look pretty good. It even has its own things, like apparently there's piranhas in the water, and at night there's angry wolves. They even put a picture feature that literally takes a screenshot and puts it in your phone's photo library. Neat. That's about all I know because I didn't actually play that much of it. B tier. It's an alright Minecraft clone, but the ads are too annoying to ignore. Alright, we're done with the Minecraft copies. I mean, inspirations. I'm sure you've all heard of Granny. It's this mobile horror game that got popular 6 years ago, and I know that because I played it myself 6 years ago. Though I kinda miss when it was more simple, because since then it's gotten a trillion updates and like 50 sequels, now including Grandpa. So at this point, the next game might have the entire family in there, I don't know. The developer of Granny has made other horror games like Slendrina, and 50 versions of that too. Jesus Christ, he's milking that shit dry. And now he's returned with a new game called The Twins, which, I mean, just from the name and picture feels kind of off style already. But you know, don't judge a book by its cover, so I wanted to try it out. You open the game and get shown a contract, which is basically the premise of the game. You're a thief who got caught, get good, and as a second chance you have to steal back some items from these twins, Bob and Buck. If you say no, the game closes, which is the best part of this game, S tier. You start the game 007 style on a roof, and I might just be brain dead because I was stuck on this roof for a solid 4 minutes, when all I had to do was open this door. Anyway, I'm sure there's a normal way to get down, but of course the way I did it was by falling down and immediately dying. Awesome. Except you don't actually die. If you didn't see the giant lifeline meter at the top of the screen, every time you die or get caught, your lifeline decreases and you get put in Bob and Buck's jail. You can't shimmy your way out, so you have to get out the GigaChad way. You sound the alarm to get one of the twins down here, and then you just snatch the key from his pocket while he's looking at you. Bravo. And now you can explore everywhere. This game works the same way Granny does, or almost every survival horror game for that matter. You pick up some item to use at one place, to get another item to use at another place, to get the third item to use at this other place, then 50 items later you'll get a key to escape. Same thing here, plus you have to steal 3 items. Of course, you have to avoid the twins themselves, who look rather interesting. There's music that plays when they chase you, and I'm not sure if developer was trying to make this game actually scary, because these models just aren't. They look rather goofy when they chase you, like bro, what is this? I did not manage to beat this game, I know, surprising. But as a game, I mean it's alright, clearly better than this. It's certainly not better than Granny, but I applaud the dev for not putting too many ads, so I'll put this at an A. GTA is quite popular, and with the GTA 6 coming out, I'm sure clones are coming out faster than Venezuela prints money. So of course we have an exquisite GTA clone called Gangster Simulator, and by the looks of it, it is promoting the definitely real GTA 5 while claiming it is just like GTA 5. Sounds good. Starting in free roam, you enter this goofier looking version of Vice City with a render distance of 2 chunks. Since this is Gangster Simulator, you skydive from a helicopter right into a boxing ring, causing an explosion when you land and beating up the ref in the most gangster way possible. That's probably something you inherit when you become a gangster, because you also jump off the building causing another explosion. This has got to be the most realistic, and there's another ad. There's some kind of store where you can buy stuff, maybe. I don't know, because none of the buttons respond, so you just get soft-locked. 5 stars. Clearly this game is looking to be photorealistic. As you can tell, my character has superhero boots and gloves, some NPCs are invincible, and these graphics are just amazing. Like, this might be the first quadruple A game. Although unfortunately it automatically plays an ad every so often. It shows the real GTA 5, of course. You are supposed to be a gangster in this game, but perhaps you are the Sigma gangster because you have a grappling hook that doesn't work. You can fly like Iron Man, or become Superman, a wannabe version of him, and to top it off, you can become a Transformer. So this game's got everything. Why would you ever play anything else? Come on now. Of course, right as you're about to get into the game, they play another ad, so you gotta compromise on something. The map is very small and there's nothing to do on it besides a couple of these side quests. That's quite literally the entire game. D tier. Too many ads, of course, and looks like it was made in 5 minutes. How about instead of that, we try Dude Theft Wars? And, yeah, this is gonna be fun. The twist in this game, besides the Roblox look, it's in first person, and with your super stretchy Miss Incredibles arms, you can open doors from 3 meters away. Keep the supercomputer you got. Obviously, you live in a Grove Street type area, and this map is even more nonsensical than the other map. Though at least it's much bigger. There's the town you live in, the government district, I guess, and an airport with airplanes that I can definitely fly. Don't worry, I got my pilot's license at Squidward College. There is no storyline here that I know of, only side quests again. Although using my insane GeoGuessr knowledge, I can immediately tell this is some town in Montana with LA residents, because no one can drive correctly. But this wouldn't be a Dude, or Theft, or Wars game without anything that goes boom. So you can go to the gun store to get a gun and use your boogie bombs to make people do the Gangnam Style dance, which makes perfect sense, honestly. You should have been paying attention to the title screen. Honestly, if this was the whole game, I would have put it in C tier, because it's alright. However, this is just the single player mode, there's also multiplayer. But you don't just get a GTA Online type multiplayer, no, you get a COD type one as well with loadouts and ads. Somehow, this multiplayer mode is more polished than the single player, like it's actually alright. There's decent animations, emotes, a scoreboard, something that even Battlefield 2042 couldn't do, everything. I played one match on Noobtown, and I actually enjoyed it, surprisingly. So instead of a C tier, this is actually a B tier for me. Next, in this pursuit of looking at the biggest war crimes ever committed, I came across Flying Gorilla. And you might be pretty confused because this game actually has really good reviews, like, this game is truly inspirational. I have played this for a few months now and I've gotten addicted to its compelling gameplay and characters. Or this one that says, I went into a 12-hour slumber. You know whenever you're sleeping or dreaming you can hear the outside world? Well, I woke up to Flying Gorilla. I'm not lying. And if you remember, this game actually became infamous around 5 years ago, so this suggests that this game is top tier, and when you load it up, yeah, it totally is. Like, this might be the greatest thing ever created. They might want to make this the 8th wonder of the world. It has everything, like skins for all the CS2 junkies, eggs because a lottery since gambling is cool now, and achievements to show how elite you are at this. The gameplay is just phenomenal. You're a gorilla that flies. It can be compared to Subway Surfers, but just better because you collect bananas instead of coins, and with enough bananas you can become God for a minute while you blast away any obstacle in your path. Otherwise, hitting anything will result in a dead gorilla and you have to pay respects for that. This is the closest thing to perfection. It has everything, even ads. I'm a farmer! And to top it all off, you can try your hand in the Infinite mode, which might be more competitive than Valorant. I'm excited to announce that I'll be switching to this game full time. I've said everything I can about this. S tier. Now, FNAF is a pretty big game on mobile. I mean, it's a pretty big game in general, but it's also perfectly suited to be a mobile game because of its controls. So, obviously, everyone is going to want a piece of that cake. And there's plenty of good ones, but the one I found was Five Nights with Froggy 2. Yeah, I guess there's 2 of them. Anyway, this one, like every FNAF clone, starts with you being hired as a guard in some place. This time, it's in a royal palace. I'm assuming in England because that's literally Churchill on this newspaper. But then all the voice acting is in Russian, so I don't know. Each day you start off with a quick briefing by your deputy, and to be honest, I think this dude has a PhD in Japanese or some shit, because sometimes this dude explains stuff for way too long. Anyway, you got the usual, office and cameras, 32 cameras to be precise, but you basically never need to look at them because any enemies that come to you have sound cues, so you'll just know. The only thing you'll need to look at is the vent map because everything just goes through the vents. Oh yeah, the enemies. They're literally just stuffed toys that jump at you. Or at its finest. You even have FNAF references like a golden froggy, and that's kind of it. This game is strange. The FNAF portion of the game is alright, like it is what it is, but there's also these like smaller minigames in between nights. Like one day you're sneaking into this one room where the philosopher lives, whoever the f that is, and playing this minigame where you don't sound the alarm with bottles, and even this 2D game of just walking around that looks like it's made in paint. super strange. I mean, as a FNAF clone, it's alright, so I'll give it a B. So CounterStrike is popular, I think, so it's a guarantee that anything popular will have a mobile copy of it, much like counter shooter game. The main menu suggests that this game is super high quality. I mean, there's even a multiplayer and zombies mode. A few things though. It looks like you have credits or C's, I guess, because that is literally the logo for the C programming language. And unless I'm stupid, which is very likely, there is nothing in this game to spend your C's on. Also, that connection meter is just a lie, which I'll explain later, but as a preface, it never moves from 3 bars. Starting one of the levels brings you into a map that looks just like how you imagined it would. Basic. The controls are nothing special, by the way, it's mobile controls, so either they suck, or I suck, or both. However, you can aim down your sights of any gun, which is not very Counter-Strike of you devs. These levels, by the way, are not even 2 minutes long, and of course, after every level, or every button you click for that matter, there's an unskippable ad. I guarantee you, in the 30 minutes I've played this game, 20 of those minutes were dedicated to ads. So the multiplayer, right? The first time I loaded up a match, you get an ad, of course, and then when it's searching for players, you find those players and get another ad. And then you get put into a game with bots. I'd like to mention the supposed M4A4 that they stole from CSGO has the M4A1S sound effect instead. The zombie mode is kind of the same thing. You'll get ads while you search for definitely real players, and then you'll just get a bot game. You might also notice that all the footage you're seeing is in Dust 1. Supposedly there's 4 maps, but if you want to deselect one, you guessed it, you'll get an ad instead. So there's not 4 maps, there's only Dust 1. Maybe you get the others if you watch enough ads. So, easiest F tier. Everything sucks, and there's too many ads. The final game I have for you is another CS clone, Counterattack. But this one is actually pretty good. The only not good part is that you need an account to play the game, and I tried to pick a good name, but it was already taken, so F tier fucking sucks. I went with an even better name instead. You can try out the game in a training camp, and it plays pretty well, all things considered. It has a buy menu and guns that are actually from Counter-Strike, and unlike the last game, you can only scope with the guns that have scopes. And for you gambling nerds, don't worry, there's loot boxes here too. This game is multiplayer only, of course, but it actually has a real multiplayer, unlike some games. I do like that they tried their best not to get sued because they have maps like Iraq, which is just Dust 2 but with a much smaller layout and some changes. And then there's Sandstorm, which is actually just Dust 2 but with some different textures. The players here are real people because some of them are cracked AF, like if there were ranks here they would be Global Elite squared. And you know, since it can't be 1-to-1 like CS, you can put suppressors on AKs. Hey, I'm all for it. So to put it simply, this game is actually pretty good, and I'd maybe play it again, which is a lot better than definitely won't be playing again. S tier. And that's it. Those are some of the worst or average mobile games I found, plus one game of the century. Of course, there's definitely worse. After all, I only just looked at 0.000014% of the ones that exist. But I will definitely need a break after looking at more than 100 ads across all these games. So you're welcome, devs. I just made you guys a ton of cash. I'll be waiting for my portion. But anyways, bye. Oh, and don't forget to check out World of Warships.